Crazy Rich Asians is being praised as groundbreaking and the best film of the year, and well, it's not. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun film to watch, a well-made film too, but similar to with Black Panther, it's just not the greatest thing since sliced bread. For those of you that have seen my other videos, you'll know I'm not particularly a big fan of American comedy movies, or comedy movies in general, and this extends to romantic comedies such as Crazy Rich Asians. To be frank, I think 99% of comedy movies are absolute dumpster fires, not worthy of recognition as anything other than a drawn-out, shitty SNL skit. The comedy genre is one that has a lot of phoned-in everything when we're talking about movies. A lot of comedy TV shows don't have these issues, and in some cases can even be a shining example of high-quality TV, such as with Scrubs, Arrested Development, Community, and Parks and Recreation. Comedy movies, on the other hand, fall into a rut of, this was funny the first time, or this is a funny concept, but when it comes to making a 90-minute plus runtime, and even if you can get past the lazy writing, a lot of these people, from my perspective, don't know how to make a funny idea into a feature-length film. The point of me saying all this about comedy movies and the comedy genre is so that when I say Crazy Rich Asians is a good, fun, albeit far from groundbreaking with the exception of its incredibly diverse cast, you understand that this means it's a legitimately good rom-com, and it's most definitely not a phone-in. The plot isn't amazing. I'll avoid overt spoilers, but I will go over some relatively minor stuff that's par for the course in a film like this. So, if that's not what you want, skip to the timestamp on screen right now. They're a rather interesting editing style, which unfortunately disappears almost entirely from the movie past the 20-minute mark. The movie is enjoyable throughout, though there were a few things that seemed like they were there just to pad the runtime that probably could have been just as good without, but otherwise was fine for the majority of the runtime. It's fun and feels fresh, but then we come to the final act. The final act. How do I put this? It's generic. It's the store brand equivalent of Cheerios. Bland, boring, everyone knows what the fuck it is. It's the epitome of a rom-com ending. It still has the style and uniqueness of Crazy Rich Asians, but it's such a cliche and boring way to end a movie. I really wish movies would stop doing sudden shit to cause a schism between people, because we know it's gonna be back to normal. We know everyone's coming back at the end of Avengers Infinity War, so you have to do it in a way that it's meaningful. But this movie didn't, and it doesn't even really matter to them. And at the end of the day, most people don't really care. It sells well. Now, it is a rom-com, and this is to be expected, but that doesn't mean it gets a free pass. Not at all. In terms of takes, shots, and film style, Crazy Rich Asians isn't unique. The first act does incorporate some neat stylistic designs, but again, abandons them later on. Overall, it's not anything special, it's just what Hollywood makes now. It's competent, but doesn't push anything. The cast is phenomenal and is what brings this movie to life. The leads, Constance Wu and Henry Golding, are great, and Awkwafina, while being more of a support character, is still not great. She does work much better in this than in Ocean's 8, which just confirms what I said in that review. She's not horrible, but she's playing one type of character, and it works in a rom-com much better than a more serious movie like Ocean's. The supporting cast also were enjoyable, and were all convincing in their portrayals. I didn't have a real complaint with anyone in this movie. It was either competent or it was good and expressive. I'm including this category the first time I ever have, because, frankly, it calls for it. This movie is absolutely beautiful. The on-site filming really paid off and made every scene bloom with color, decadence, life, and scale. The shooting, while being bland and uniform, is more than made up for because of what it shows, even if what it shows is more material than subversive or nuanced. Crazy Rich Asians is a nice departure from the standard rom-com format and a breath of fresh air in regards to the comedy genre, which at the point has essentially become the same set of 10 actors in basically the same movies again and again. It's just a fucking circle jerk of SNL alums. The movie has issues, it's not great, and again, it's not a masterpiece, but it's enjoyable. I recommend it if you're into rom-coms or comedy films, and obviously if you're into films that do have a bountiful amount of diversity, this is a really good one for you to see. Overall, I give it a 7. It's an average movie, 3 out of 5. Some stuff impressed me, but others bored me with their semblance of stuff I've seen one too many times before. It is a lot better than all the other stuff out right now, though. So yeah, that's it. Sorry for this video being significantly shorter than usual. I am actually recording this a couple hours before going into surgery. Can I get an F in the comments for my voice once again being fucked up? And thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and comment what your thoughts are. Make sure to subscribe to see more content like this in the future, and click the bell icon to turn on notifications. And if you'd like to support me and the channel, the best way to do so, other than Patreon, is at my merch store. We've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, and plenty more. The link for that and everything else you'd need is in the description below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. If you'd like to have your art featured in a video, draw me or one of my wondrous characters, such as the majestic Chad the Sat, and tweet it to @Tahukan on Twitter. Huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I really appreciate it.